afternoon and welcome to our TED Ed Talk virtual edition. Today we're going to look into women's rights and in history and how far we've come and how it all began. Imagine this. You're walking into an elementary school building somewhere in the United States. You look around the halls and the classroom. Wow, it is overrun with female teachers. You think to yourself, we did it. We made it. We broke those barriers. Here we are being represented. But is this a true representation of women's equality? Let's dig a little deeper. Let's take a look. Women's rights. Women's rights began many centuries ago. There was a woman named Mary Wollstonecraft in the Enlightenment era. She was viewed as a radical of her time. Why? Because women were viewed as slaves to their husbands. They didn't have a place in political, social, and the educational realms. As a matter of fact, they didn't even qualify or were not granted a formal education. So Mary wrote books, and she advocated and she fought to her death on how women are rational creatures. They're just as capable of intellectual achievement as men, and given formal education, the rest of the rights of women would follow. Here's America's typical teacher. Female, 76% female teachers, 24% male. Looks like it's headed in the right direction. Principals in a public school in 2018 and 17, 48,750 female, 42,100 male. Even better, principals are running the school. Superintendents, well, let's stop right here. Only 1 out of 4 school superintendents is female. So we made it to the classrooms, we made it to the principals. However, when it comes to leadership, it looks like we're stalled, as some would say, still being oppressed. And this all began many centuries ago, as I stated. So following Mary Wollstonecraft's death, we had a couple events that really pushed women's rights. The Seneca Falls, first women's rights convention, that was in 1848. The Women's National Suffrage Association formed in 1868. It wasn't until 1920 that women had the ability to vote. And it wasn't until 1972 that equal right amendments sent states to approve. And when you look at this timeline, it's very interesting to see how we started out with our rights being taken away in 1777, given back in 1920. However, in 1972, that one is very important. Title I-X of the Education Amendment prohibits sex discrimination in all aspects of educational programs. What does that mean? That means public schools and federal or educational institutions that receive federal funds, they cannot, based on sex, discriminate from female from attending, or a male for that point. And it wasn't until 2013 that the ban against women in combat in the military was overturned. Fast forwarding. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Take a look at this. First thing that comes to my mind, they're all men. It wasn't until 2021 that a female was elected in the vice presidential role. And taking a look at the United States presidents, we're not in that leadership role either. So as we enter March, which is very important because it's Women's History Month, and we remember Mary Wollstonecraft, and we remember the women's suffrage movement, and we remember all that fought, who persevered, who broke down these barriers to create a better America, to give the true egalitarian ways and the equality for all. We need to continue to push, to advocate, Please join me. Please spread the word. Get the word out. Cast your votes. Because we still have a long way to go. There's still that seat amongst the presidents that sits empty, waiting for the first female leader. Thank you.